He knocked me over. I landed on the dog bowl.
This one's wife, the creepy cuckoo. There we are, the cuckoo. I thought that it would be entirely apt not to have a genuine cuckoo heard in the wild, but a mechanical one from a clock. A fake one. Because the fakeness of this one's wife is something which is demonstrated on a regular basis. The cuckoo operates in a parasitic manner with regard to its breeding. It's known for laying eggs in the nests of other eggs. They are brood parasites, meaning that they only reproduce in this fashion. The best known example is the European common cuckoo. They lay eggs in other species' nests, and then, when their young comes along, the cuckoo egg actually hatches earlier than the host eggs, and the cuckoo chick grows faster. In most cases, the cuckoo chick evicts the eggs and or the young of the host species. They move in and take over. Interestingly, the cuckoo chick has no time to learn this behavior, nor does any cuckoo parent stay around to teach it, so it's actually an instinct that's passed on genetically. You may not know also that cuckoo eggs are actually thicker than other eggs for two reasons. It protects them when they're dropped into the other species' nest, and also protects them from attack from the host bird. Evolution. Fascinating thing, isn't it? That's the cuckoo, and it's an entirely apt description for this one's wife, who is the creepy cuckoo. How so? Well, the astute amongst you will have enjoyed my dissection of this one's wife's mood board that appeared on her Instagram, as I took it apart with the forensic wit of your chocolatey, velvety-voiced, glorious narrator. If you've not watched that, you're missing out on a real treat. Do ensure, however, you're not eating or drinking before the commencement of that video. In that, I identified that there was a painting that she had displayed. It's presumably of her and Harry, with one of the beagles kissing, and somebody has painted it. I remarked when I was undertaking my dissection of the mood board that this appeared to be a copy of the picture of Prince William and Catherine, the Princess of Wales, walking on a beach as Catherine kisses William, and they're seen to be walking a dog. But after due consideration, I thought actually this specific act of this one's wife bears further analysis and explanation for you to understand what's going on in her warped mind. You know that she is a narcissist. This means that all of her behaviors in relation to other people are for the pursuit of the prime aims of control, of fuel, of character traits and residual benefits. You also know that she is empty, that her narcissism through character trait acquisition takes shards and fragments and bits of other people and bolts them onto a construct which she displays to the outside world. This is why she regularly pinches quotations, sections of people's speeches. She copies the way that other people dress, that she engages in posturing in a similar way, the Diana duplication we've witnessed. She is an empty vessel, devoid of talent, substance, original thought, only able to function by taking from others. And at first blush, you might think, well, this is copying that has taken place. Well, in actual fact, there is an element of that by way of character trait acquisition, for instance, the copying of the couple together with a dog. But in actual fact, there's something which is even more sinister than that, which I'll explain to you. This one's wife makes people an extension of her. So, for instance, Harry is an extension of her. She has no boundary recognition. So in her world, Harry is bolted onto her, meaning that Harry's accomplishments and achievements become hers. The same goes for her family, to the extent she still bothers with them, with friends, to the extent that she still bothers with them. She is not attached to anybody because her narcissism doesn't allow that to happen as a consequence of protecting her and the fact that she has no emotional empathy. But she connects people to her. She goes along and gathers them for what they do for her and bolts them onto her construct. She doesn't do this consciously. This is done in her subconscious by her narcissism. It is also the case that her narcissism causes her to believe that she should have a particular place in the world. This is, as the center of the universe, the most beautiful, the most talented, the most interesting, the most humorous, the most accomplished individual. This delusion is seen repeatedly in the way that this one's wife behaves. It gives her, on the surface, an appearance of confidence. It enables her to sharpen her elbows and inject herself into the lives of other people, taking over their conversations, taking over their roles, walking in front of people, getting in the way with a hug when they're trying to shake hands, taking over the conversation, taking over the way that something might be done, elbowing people out of their roles. When it comes to this one's wife, she has always taken the view that Prince William should have been hers. This is because he is going to be king, and the deluded mindset of this one's wife tells her that she ought to be the queen. She also believes that Prince William fancies her. As I've explained to you before, the default mind setting for this one's wife is all men want to knock her hip out, all women want to be like her. Prince William should be no exception to this mindset. He should be going gaga over her. This also means that she exhibits envy, a strong narcissistic trait of hers towards the Princess of Wales, because Catherine is married to Prince William. William has eyes for his wife. This one's wife cannot stand that. She wants William to look at her the way that he looks at Catherine. But it gets worse than that. Not only does she believe that William belongs to her, because the moment that she first met him, he entered into her fuel matrix, which means that he becomes a possession in the subconscious of this one's wife. It's also the case that she believes that Catherine shouldn't be there. This is why Catherine is the nemesis, because she embodies so much of what this one's wife believes that she is and believes that she should have. She thinks that she is elegant. She thinks that she is magnetic. She thinks that she is loved by many people. When she sees the praise, and she will watch for this because of her rage scrolling and obsessiveness for watching what William and Catherine do, when she sees the praise for Catherine, she is thinking, that should be for me. That should be me. And accordingly, her narcissism warps the reality to make her think to herself, I am the one that should be with Prince William. She will have envisaged scenarios of the two of them together. She will have pictured them in situations of having sex together. She will have pictured them raising a family together. She will have pictured them as sitting on the thrones as king and queen together. She would have pictured them conquering the world together. Harry isn't even thought about in those situations. And such is the magical thinking of this one's wife, such is the level of delusion. She actually believes that she should occupy the position of Catherine. And the painting that you see isn't actually a picture of her and Harry, although it's made out to be that. It's actually a picture of her and William. She has seen that picture of William and Catherine on the beach, and what she has done, because she has no boundary recognition, because like the Borg, she assimilates people into her. She places herself in the position of Catherine, that it's her and William enjoying a kiss, that she's wearing the clothing of Catherine. You can see the similarity with the Wellington boots, the jeans, the colour of the coat and the style of the coat. That in that, she's created a picture that people would think, oh, that's her and Harry. It's not. It's her and William. She is like the cuckoo that invades the nest of other people. Driven by her narcissism, she would come along, kick Catherine out of the nest and take over, placing her brood in the Waleses' nest. She would, were she able, she would take over George, Charlotte and Louis, treating them like her own children. Not in a loving way, remember she's a narcissist, but she would act as if they were hers, because the possessive objectification that the narcissist engages in would drive her to look at them that way. Harry, Archie and Lilibet would be cast to one side, as if they never existed. Those of you who have been involved with the narcissist will be familiar with the cold callousness by which the narcissist casts you to one side and acts as if there was never a relationship, acts as if you never existed. She would do the same. Such is her warped mind, driven by magical thinking and delusion. Not only has she created a scenario where it's her and William who have gone for a walk on the beach, which in some instances would just be simple daydreaming. After all, if you think back to when you were a teenager, did you ever think about that pop star whose poster you had on the wall about being with them? But it's more, way more than that with this one's wife. It's not simple daydreaming. It is a sense of entitlement and the lack of boundary recognition to take over the world of somebody else, to insert herself in that world. In essence, it gives off those single white female vibes, if you remember that film. It's her in that picture. She has inserted herself as Catherine. If you were to put this to her, she would naturally deny it, because her narcissism would regard such an accusation as a threat to control. But not only has she inserted herself in that scenario in her own head, she's so twisted as to then have it painted and then flaunted to the world. She is the creepy cuckoo. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.